Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Santa Rita Union School District Board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. If we can please start off with the roll call.
Ms. Alva Ariano.
Here.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Present.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Here.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Here.
Ms. Cindy Lopez is not present this evening.
Okay, let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. In what direction? Okay, please stand. That way. That's perfect. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the board agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, today on closed session, we have items 2.1, potential litigation of Government Code Section 54956.8 and 54956.9. 2.2, public employee performance evaluation of Government Code Section 54957. 2.3, conference with labor negotiators in the Government Code Section 54957.6. Do we have any public comments regarding closed session items?
We do not.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the closed session?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, we'll see everybody afterwards. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Santa Rosa Union School District meeting. There's nothing to report on. I think was voted on. We're going to start off with school district spotlight. Is that what?
We don't have one.
No, okay, that's what I figured. I was like,
We need approval of the consent
oh,
agenda.
I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay. 7.1 SRTA. Okay. CSEA. Okay. Superintendent's cabinet.
Dr. Summer Prather Smith.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to, well, I just want to give a quick update. This Friday is our last day of Summer Academy, which is hard to imagine. I'm like, whew, it was a whirlwind. Great attendance overall. Our students had a great time. I want to say a huge thank you to our staff who jumped right in. We will have a taco truck on Friday if anybody wants to stop by one of the two schools, just to really thank our staff for giving us this time. Starting the day after we ended school. And then Kona Ice will be here to reward our students for their hard work this past month. So going into all those classrooms, I can see a lot of learning happening. On top of the learning, I can see a lot of friendships being built because students are coming together from all the different sites and getting to interact with one another. And so it's really exciting for them to get to see kids from other schools as well. And so a huge thank you to, again, Dr. Madonna Catis for her organization and work in putting everything together from a very detailed daily schedule where students get PE and art along with their academics to staggered lunches. It's unbelievable. It's a master schedule in itself. So thank you to all of those staff. And then just kind of as a reference, my other part of my report was just our mobile unit that was out here for those of you who are here, which will start working with our middle schoolers next year and allowing us to create media here within the district using our students. So thank you.
Our Chief Business Officer, Rosa, did you have anything?
Yeah, I just have a quick update. As you know, our district office is closed. Payday is Monday, June 30th. So for those who still getting life checks, we only have about 17 people who's getting life checks. So you can pick up your check at the Gavilan View Middle School from 10 to 12. And I'm going to follow up with an email tomorrow morning. Thanks.
Ms. Becky Moore, Assistant Superintendent.
I have nothing to report tonight, having been on vacation for a couple of weeks. I'm just remembering what it is I'm doing here, but thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, and now to the board and the superintendent, Ms. Salvariano. Okay,
I don't have anything to report at this time.
okay. Mr. Patel.
Yes, I wanted to bring the public awareness to a traffic and speeding problem happening on Arcadia Way, which faces our primary elementary school, New Republic. There's been a number of issues with traffic using it as a bypass from Veranda, creating a hazard for our students and parents during the drop off and pickup. People are running through red lights. People are going 45, 50 down a 25-mile-per-hour zone. Right now, there's a petition circulating through the Salinas City's traffic calming program. I strongly encourage our residents, especially in the area of Arcadia Way, to please contact the Assistant Engineer Gerardo Rodriguez at the following phone number, 831-758-7992, to also share your concerns for the safety, not only for our students and parents, but for the residents of Santa Rita, especially in that area. Once again, safety is paramount. And the idea that we have students walking, sometimes alone, and having to cross the street and having speeders go through there, I think this is vital and necessary to prevent, hopefully, no drama in the future. So once again, Salinas residents, Arcadia, please contact the city of Salinas, encourage them to pass the calming project. So they'll put in those low-level speed bumps so everyone can reduce speeds and drive in a sensible way that is responsible drivers, period. So thank you very much.
What was the number again?
Sorry about that. The phone number is 831-758-7992. That is the phone number for the assistant engineer for the traffic calming project, and his name is Gerardo Rodriguez. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Sarah Turner?
Interesting that you mentioned that because I reached out to our district representative, Andrew Sandoval, yesterday about things that were going badly on East Lamar Street that leads into Santa Rita, and I was concerned about our children. So these were garbage and other things that had grown up there so that there were health hazards where the children were walking. So I told him I tried to address it through the city website, and it didn't fall under the categories of we're going to get out there and make that road safe for children. So he told me he was going to work on it today, but it does really matter. And just we encourage people to let us know, especially roads that children walk absolutely every single day or that parents are on absolutely every single day. So I appreciated his responsiveness.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything to report myself. Dr. Alderman?
I also want to thank our district office staff for working in various locations throughout the district. Some folks are working from home. It's been a few years since we had to be in such strange work locations, but I can say having our office actually repainted is a much better circumstance than what put us out about 5 years ago from our offices. So appreciate everyone's flexibility in doing that and scheduling appointments to meet people where it's needed. There was no better way to get the work done. And so want to appreciate Victor and his team for helping us get everything out. And then they'll help us get everything back in a week or so. So thanks, everybody. That's it.
Thank you. 8.1, is there public comments regarding non-agenda items? Is there public comments regarding agenda items? Okay. Moving on to item 9.1, it's the first reading of the resolution 25.06.11, providing for the issuance of sale of 2025 bond anticipation notes to the School Facilities Improvement District, number 2022-1.
Thank you. So this is just a first reading of the resolution that we could bring back for the board for action at a July meeting for the possible sale of bond anticipation notes. So that's being able to sell those anticipation notes against our Series C so that we can access those funds earlier. As everyone knows, rising cost in almost every sector, but for us, most impactful is the extremely rising cost in construction, and delays in projects are costing not just us, but every school district a lot of funds. And so being able to access the Series C, at least a portion of that as needed to get as many of our projects going right now or continue them immediately as quickly as possible, instead of waiting for our originally anticipated Series C sale in 2030. It may behoove us to move forward with that. And it is definitely a more cost-effective measure than if we found ourselves considering taking out a loan to handle that shortfall before 2030. And so we're bringing that forward for a first reading.
Okay, and then so what would be the process? So this will be the first reading and then we have a second reading.
So we would do it like we did this resolution for our Series B. The backup documents and the process is very much like what we're bringing forward for action tonight, which is the sale of our Series B bond. And so you'll see a lot of the same kind of documents scheduled for the upcoming board meeting. So we would be bringing that forward again for our July 9th board meeting for consideration for the board to take action for that.
Okay, so we have any questions? And so do we have to open it up as a hearing or is it just a first?
It's just a first reading for the board.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna move on to item 10.1, approval of 2025-26 LCAP.
Thank you. So at the last meeting, I'm very grateful to Melissa and Summer for presenting on the LCAP annual update for me during the public hearing. I was able to watch the recording of that board meeting and they represented all of our work together well. So tonight, now that the hearing has been completed, it would be time for you as a board to approve the LCAP for the 25-26 school year.
I have additional questions from last time unless the board has any other additional.
I just want to thank everyone and the community members, everyone who came together to provide input and directive to the board. Having said that, unless there's thing, I'd motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Captain.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.2 is approval of July 1st budget for the 2025-26 fiscal year.
So pretty similar to what Becky was mentioning, we had the budget hearing on our last board meeting. It's been out for inspection since June 6th in our website. And per ed code, we're required to approve the first draft of the budget for 25-26. And just a reminder that this is not a done deal. It is the first draft. We're going to keep updating as the new information comes up.
Motion to approve. Okay,
Second.
roll call.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Captain.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.3, approval of the ELP plan for the 25-26 school year.
So it's plan approval night. So as you are aware, each year we're required to bring the updated ELOP plan to you for approval. I just want to highlight a few changes that we've added for this upcoming year. Again, remember that we went from serving about 60 students to at the end of this year, over 900 students in expanded learning across the district. So what we've added is the Mixteco program, which has been at Santa Rita, will now expand over to McKinnon as well. So we'll be offering the Mixteco program here at McKinnon. In addition to Santa Rita, we looked at our student numbers and where to kind of expand that to. We also are adding scouting as part of our program. Scouts of America came to us and is really interested in bringing scouting back, and so we'll be adding that. We are going to be having after-school counseling services through Sticks and Stones, so we'll be split funding Sticks and Stones. They will do 10 to 6, meaning that they will serve students during the regular day, but then any students in expanded learning will be able to have their counseling services and not interrupt their instructional time as well. We've added an expanded learning TOSA, teacher on special assignment, who really is going to focus in on making sure that our special education students have access to all the benefits of expanded learning. And as you all know, that's Amy Choate, one of our amazing teachers from La Jolla, who will be there for that. We also are adding 4, the positions are posted on EdJoin, 4 expanded learning teachers. This year, we're able to use expanded learning to recoup ADA. So that's new for us. We could do it on Saturdays, but we couldn't do it in after school programming. So now students get the benefit of both coming to after school programming, getting that support, but we as a district also get the benefit of recouping any ADA that we've lost. However, that can only be recouped if it's provided through a certificated teacher. So a certificated teacher has to provide that direct service to students. I think it's a perfect position for any teacher out there. I'll put a little plug. The position will go till 5:45, but it'll start late. So I think it's 10:15, 10:45, something like that. Figure 7 hours and 25 minutes, however that works. Yeah, 10:30 to 5:45. That morning part, I've already worked with the state. That morning part will be an opportunity for that teacher to really connect with students at the school site and encourage, especially those students with chronic absenteeism, to build a relationship and get them into expanded learning, and then coordinate with their teacher to really figure out where that learning loss is and design lessons for that student in the after school program. The benefits of the position are you're not doing report cards. You're not doing any of those extra duties. If you're out sick, you're out sick. You don't have to even do a lesson plan. So anybody out there really looking for a position that allows for some of that flexibility in time and really collaborating and working with teachers, please consider. There'll be one at each of the elementary sites. And the position is posted, I just expanded till July 4th. Let me see. Let me make sure what else here. We're adding the McCate. I'm like, there's a bunch of other things we've added this year. The McCate, which is that mobile unit that's out there, we'll be starting with our middle schools. They are going to be filming all of our social media ads. They're going to be filming ads for attendance. So for example, why attendance is important. Instead of contracting somebody to do that, our students will lead that. They'll do the filming, they'll do all of the production, and then we'll be able to run that within our social media. They'll be running filming our district campaigns as well, and then those will run on KSBW, but will all be done by our students. This year we added and we're expanding Girls on the Run, which is an amazing program for our girls. Any of you who got to see them out there, it's always a fun event to support them as well. I know there's more. I feel like we keep adding at every opportunity for our students to make sure that they have their needs met and that our students are encouraged to stay in school and build on those skills as well. So that is our updated expanded learning plan. And again, a giant thank you to Dr. Madonna Catisse for all her work on that document and in this planning.
Perfect. Thank you. And I did read through the expanded learning opportunities. It's amazing to see where the direction is going. So any questions or comments from the board? No? Can I get a motion?
I have two comments. We'd talked about it just really briefly as a board. Pre-COVID, we had a commitment to talking about giving our children a live theater experience of being able to do that. And I would love to see if we were able to include that in our extended learning opportunities, even the possibility of being able to doing Saturday field trips so that you could see like a professional show, like for our 8th grade students, for example. And then the other thing that I wanted to say, I'm excited about the positions and I hope you fill them quickly. If we do not have interest, something that I would suggest, these are positions that could easily be, one job could be split between 2 people without really a loss of service to children, which is not always the case. So potentially advertising them on EdJoin as 2 part-time jobs rather than a full-time job, you may get interest that you might not otherwise.
And I will say, Sarah, we took a group of students and parents to see Peter Pan in San Jose. It was great for many of them. It was their first ever live performance. And yeah, our goal is to do more of that as well. We just need transportation. So if anybody also wants to be a bus driver.
Sarah, could you share just a little bit what came to the idea of the performance impact? of that?
I went to a performance of Honk at Hartnell College last weekend, which was amazing, and I highly encourage everybody to do that. I was there with a teenager who just graduated from high school, but graduated from our district, and she got very emotional when the lights went down, and I later asked her at intermission, and she told me she had never been to a play before. So this is someone who went through our school district, K through 8, and then went to 4 years at the high school, including being at Rancho, where they don't have a theater, and never has gone to a play before. So I know it hurt my heart, and I thought to myself, well, I can't fix the high school part of it. I can advocate, and I absolutely will. But in terms of, I would love at least to have the understanding that that we were providing opportunities for our students to get to experience live theater.
Thank you for sharing. Can I get a motion to approve unless there's other questions?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I got.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, moving on to item 10.4, approve adoption of resolution 25.06.10, providing for the issuance and sale of general obligation bonds in election of 2022 SRUSD.
So, as you remember,
So we can start the process for the Series B bond sale, and as Melissa explained before, this is to obtain the funds to follow up with construction of this new year, and to be able to lock the price now and not wait until prices keep going up and we won't have maybe enough funding. So this is the first step. We're starting the process. There's more to it.
it's pretty similar to when we did Series A. They're going to be reviewing our credit score for the district. We're going to be having meetings. There's a lot of documentation, a lot of reporting back where they're going to be asking a lot of our financial information. Like I said, this is just the beginning of the process, so we can move forward.
And I think kind of like we discussed before is it's also important for the public and the taxpayer just to remind them, hey, this year, these are the things that we did with the money and the funds, because we also need to show that impact that what the students are getting. So
Yeah, I'm worried about the interest rates and possibly going up with the markets uncertainty. So time is of the essence. So with that, unless there are any changes, motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Yeah, Captain.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, approval of designation of Premier Construction as the best value contractor and award leaseback contract for the GVMS portable replacement project.
I am representing Victor Sandoval on this major effort that he put into getting our very first leaseback contract in place for our large scale portable replacement project at Gavilan View Middle School. As you can see, we had 3 contractors who had responsive bids, and our best value score went to Premier Builders, and that's who we're bringing forward to take on this very first leaseback agreement.
I think this is one of many to come. I'm glad we did see 3 people, 3 different entities come and try to bid for it. So obviously the scoring it is what it is, and just happened to be the lowest cost. So with that, I'm pretty pleased with the process so far and the fact we had so many bidders. And unless any more comments, motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.6, approve of annual declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 25-26 school year.
As you are all familiar, annually, we file this document with the teacher credentialing department so that if we have the need to hire teachers on special permits, we are authorized by them to do so. So this is our preliminary anticipation, which may be updated in the future if needs change.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.7, approval of position control maintenance closure of positions.
And also, as you've seen many times, as we look at position control together with the business office on a regular basis, we have determined the necessity to close some vacant positions. They're not positions that would entail any type of layoff, just positions that are sitting unfilled on the books. And so for best practices, we would recommend the closure of these positions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, Captain.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.8, approval of 4 full-time ELOP teacher positions for the 25-26 school year.
Already given my sales pitch for these, but these are the 4 ELOP positions that I spoke about earlier.
Okay, any questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.9, approval of agreement with Pacific Oaks College.
Also, as you see frequently, this is an agreement with a college to provide internship practices or positions for students who attend this college. The agreement allows us to hire a teacher under their intern program and support them, and outlines the agreement between the district and the school.
Any questions?
I guess, where is Pacific Oaks College?
Let me take a look at that. I'm not sure. I'm helping Claudia out tonight because she was
Oh,
able to be
that's
here.
right.
They're in Pasadena.
Pasadena.
Mhm. But through their
Right,
online
it's online.
programs.
Yeah, it's online.
It is accredited, I'm
Yeah,
sure. So
yeah.
Yes.
No, it's a credit. Yeah, I looked it up.
motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.10, approval of contract with Harlan School Solutions.
I have that for Mr. Chuck Helm. So this is with our kitchen infrastructure and training grant that our Nutrition Services Department received from CDE. So Heartland Services, they're providing the point of sale, menu planning, inventory programs for the student meal services. And they're looking to get some additional programs and training with them. So as they move into more of the scratch cooking in our kitchen facilities, which is a goal for Chuck with our nutrition and our wellness policies that he's been working on establishing for the district. So
Motion to approve?
all those in favor,
Aye.
Captain.
motion 4-0.
Okay, item 10.11, approval of SLP contract with Speech Therapy Link Incorporated.
I'm gonna do this one for Melanie. We're gonna send off here. So this is renewal. This is a speech and language therapist that's been with serving our special ed for the past 2 years. It's just a renewal of that. It's one of 2 virtual SLPs. Again, currently there are a total of 5 contracted SLPs and 3 district hired SLPs. Those positions stay open with the hopes of recruiting internally hired SLP as well.
And there was a change in law, remember that happened last year, right, where you can hire people?
Correct. So they can move from being contracted and they can get hired by the district.
Okay.
Mhm.
Get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
You get a second?
Second.
All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
motion 4-0.
Okay, 10.12, approval of the Woodcock Johnson V assessment purchase.
So the Woodcock Johnson is the assessment that's used to test the academic levels of students for special education assessment. And this is to purchase the updated version of that assessment tool, which is also fully online, whereas we used to have to bubble and bubbles. Now you can just do it all online.
Is there gonna get a motion to approve? Yeah, sure.
Is this,
You're not on Eva.
oh. Is this not, this isn't the Dibbles, this is in a,
This is for special education testing. So this is
Okay.
the assessment that's used to determine academic levels, to determine if there's a discrepancy between ability and academics, and determine if the student would qualify for specific learning disability.
Motion to approve 10.12?
Second?
All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
Captain.
motion 4-0.
Okay, our next regular board meeting will be July 9th. Is there any suggested future board items by the board?
I have,
Yeah, go ahead.
last board meeting, I requested an update. I was still waiting for that, regarding our solar panels and battery backup.
We'll bring that forward for you for July. We
appreciate it.
had people out on vacation.
Oh, no, I know. I just thought
Yeah.
of it. The second thing is, you know, I would like to see a schedule of how many times in the next school year we'll be presenting at school sites, you know, for the board meetings. The more, the better for me. I think we need to stay close to our students and their families, and so they have an easy transportation and stuff. So I'm not saying that let's leave the district, but I like to have more opportunities to go to the various sites, you know. And now with the mobile capabilities, I think we can do it, you know. I'm not sure how many I would like at the district level, but I would like to see way more at the site levels.
Thank you. Sarah?
It doesn't have to be July, it doesn't have to be until way into the school year, but at some point I'd like to have a conversation about what we're doing in regards to intervention in both language arts and math at the elementary and the middle school levels.
Can I get a motion to adjourn at 6:30?
Motion to adjourn?
second.
All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
motion 4-0.
Okay, have a nice evening, everyone.